Yeah, sure. So, in 3, 2, 1. Ooh,
Dude, my fingernails are so short.
just cut mine today.
Did you hear that? Was that right in your ear?
Yeah, that was good.
All right, dude, we
White
did
Claw
it.
Wednesday.
White Claw Wednesday, telecommuting,
Oh yeah, the real quarantine edition.
the coronavirus special.
Yep.
So, where are you right now, dude? Because I know your house a lot, and I can't place where you're at.
I'm in the computer room at the very end of the hallway.
See, I'm rarely in that room. That's
Yeah,
why.
that's the most rarely visited room, and I'm on the little flower couch here with
Nice.
the art project behind me that was used in my mom's classroom, and now is hung up here. It's actually pretty cool. It's the 50 states, and every state has a state capital and a little fun little drawing that like represents the state. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. My grandma, when we were little, she used to have these placemats,
Yeah.
and they would be like some like geological location or some country,
Uh huh.
and they would have like all these little like art pieces and things to like represent the culture.
Uh huh.
And it was one of my favorite things of going to her house is picking out a placemat.
Picking out a placemat. Nice. Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
that.
Oh wait, that's not my White Claw. That one I'm keeping there.
That's the display one.
I know.
So,
So everyone that's on video, please let us know how you like our
yeah.
plant. We're trying to keep the plant a thing and also the claw.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, I got my claw.
What flavor are you drinking right now?
Oh, I got the raspberry.
Ooh, I'm on the natural lime right now.
Oh man, I'm kind of jealous, dude. Kind of jealous.
Yeah.
What was the drive like back to San Francisco with with pandemic happening? Was there no traffic? A little bit of traffic?
There was literally no traffic
Yeah.
at all. It was great, honestly.
What time were you driving?
We left at around 7, and then
Yeah.
we got there around, or we got here around 2. So,
Okay.
pretty good time, and we stopped twice. So,
Nice. That's pretty good. Damn.
yeah, dude.
Damn. How your neighbors? I mean, how your upstairs?
They're pretty cool.
Are they all safe?
I mean,
They're
I
all
haven't
good.
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't even see them at all
Yeah.
because I came inside and
Mhm.
then they like slipped a note under our door telling us to pay utilities.
That's funny.
And Amanda and I were kind of pissed because we haven't been here for 3 weeks. We've been in
Yeah.
Riverside. So, yeah, I mean, I paid it, but next time I go down, which hopefully is this weekend, I'm gonna send him a text and be like, "Hey, I'm not gonna pay utilities this time."
Yeah, dude. I feel
Uh,
that makes sense because you're not using anything. Unless
Exactly.
just don't leave any light on or sink on.
Right. Apparently, San
Yeah.
Francisco is doing really well with the coronavirus, though.
It
Have
is?
you heard the news at all?
No, I haven't. You know what? The only news that has kind of hit me that's hurt is the fact that this doctor said that live concerts and sporting events aren't going to be able to come back until fall of 2021.
Dr. Fauci.
Yeah. Health experts putting the kibosh on like
Who is that guy?
a doctor.
He's like the president's doctor. Like, what is his job? I don't understand.
He's like in charge of the people who are supposed to handle the health crisis in the White House, I guess. I don't know.
Well done, Dr. Fauci.
All I know is I don't think Coachella is happening in October. And
Dude,
if
honestly,
it is happening, it's like hey, roll the dice. You might get corona. And
At
honestly,
this-
I don't really want to roll those dice.
You're not going to roll the dice?
I don't think I'm going to roll the dice. I hate being sick. It's one of my least favorite things in the world.
I
mean,
doubt
obviously nobody likes
it would
being
be
sick,
going on.
but like I really hate being sick, and it's it's the flu symptoms, It's like
Well, it's worse, dude.
well, it's worse.
It's worse
But
than the
yeah,
flu.
so it's like being sick, but it's like obviously the worst kind of being sick.
Yeah,
So
dude. I mean,
I'd rather eat the $500 than like roll those dice of possibly getting the virus.
the
'Cause I
great thing
feel
about
safe here.
Coachella is it's like a yearly thing. So there's always going to be another opportunity to go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whereas like, I don't know, let's say you're getting married or something like that. Like this
Yeah.
that's so shitty.
Yeah. Very true.
That's worse. But yeah, I really doubt that Coachella will go on at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
and again, I mean, we've talked about this before, but I don't understand how they're gonna how do they keep postponing things? I mean, because eventually events are just gonna get stacked on top of each other. Like, how are they gonna do that?
Yeah. That's what's weird to me.
And then right after post-pandemic, you're gonna have a ton of events that are scheduled. I don't see it. It's not realistic.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking about like all the movies that have been like think about all the movies that have been pushed back, and then you have the movies that are supposed to be coming out like on the dates where movies were pushed back too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
So
then
it's
they're like,
what do we do?
Shit, we don't want to be up against them.
Or they're like, oh, we're gonna wreck them.
True.
It's like
True.
either one or the other. It's like confidence, or it's like, oh, we're fucked. This is bad timing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I wonder, like with the big ones like James Bond and Black Widow, those have been pushed back to the fall, like Coachella. So, to me, do you think a movie theater is just like a sporting event or a music festival in a sense where you're just you're kind of shoulder to shoulder with everybody? I mean, less so than a music festival, but I could make a comparison between movie theaters and sporting events in the sense where you all have these seats that are right next to each other and everybody's, taking advantage of every seat there is.
Yeah. I would say that they're not similar.
Yeah.
However, I think that in terms of like the sanitation of movie theaters, you're literally sitting in the same seat that another person was sitting at. You're get the same cup holder, the same armrest. I mean, it's probably just as dangerous as going to a music festival.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't put it on that level because
Probably just as bad as sitting at a sporting event, I would say.
that levels. Yeah, I agreed.
Yeah.
But I heard that AMC may file for bankruptcy. Did you hear that?
Exactly. I did hear that.
Do you know more information than I do? Because that's all I know.
No, that's the only thing I know, and it's weird to me. It seems like kind of like it's like they must have been struggling before this hit, before the pandemic, and before
Maybe.
movie theaters started closing and movies started getting delayed, because it seems like it happened too quickly for it to be all caused by the pandemic. And I actually saw a meme about it that I thought was pretty funny, where it was just like,
What did it say?
where it was talking about how are you guys going bankrupt when you're charging $56 for a large popcorn. And
That is hilarious.
it's kind of true though, because if you've ever gone to the movie theater and bought like a full like a decked out like I'm snacking and drinking at the theater, it ends up running you like $30 to $50.
Dude, sometimes they have like ice cream and stuff there.
Exactly.
I mean, Starbucks, you can go in.
Yeah. And you can all like a large slushie and like a large popcorn and like some candy, like all ends up probably getting like $40 or something like that.
It's crazy how none of the companies that are struggling didn't have the funds in the bank, or really were not prepared to have like a couple months of no income. I mean,
Nobody
which
would
when you think about it and you're in a business, maybe you should have some sort of safety net where like if shit hits the fan, we can live for a couple months.
Yeah.
But like I feel like none of these companies were like, nope, like we're spending because all this money is coming in and coming in and coming in. And it'd be different if you had a safety net, right? But it seems that a lot of companies don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that speaks on how out of nowhere this feels, and also speaks to, like we were talking about last episode, about how pandemic has really kind of slapped everybody in the face with a these are the jobs that are actually necessary. Like when you cut everything away, like you cut everything, you can't do anything. But there's always the things that you have to do to survive, and this pandemic has really kind of called attention to those jobs that are always necessary, and I think that speaks to what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, in the future, I feel like the majority of the jobs are going to be, able to be done online. But then again, when it comes to like a lot of the art, like films and stuff like that, I mean, that stuff you have to put on hold, right? Because you can't have a production.
Yeah.
Although I would be interested to see, and I'm really excited to hear your take on this. I would be interested to see if some film company would be able to make a solid film through telecommuting. Like if they could get it done, and if it would be a quality.
Oh, yeah. Like we did a scene right now or something.
Something like that. I mean, obviously they'd have to get creative, and it wouldn't just be people talking all the time.
I'm glad you say this because SNL is already doing it.
Really?
SNL is doing skits over the Zoom calls. Just this last Saturday, pretty much instead of a regular episode, they had all these internet skits. And so pretty much not only was it like Zoom, like them doing this, it was also just the comedians in their own homes recording funny skits of themselves. Like Pete Davidson did like a parody rap song, which was actually pretty funny. It was called Andre 2000, and it was about the fact that he had 20 $100 bills. So he had $2,000, and that's what he was like. He kept showing it off in the music video, and he's like rapping about how it looks like I got a lot of money, but it's just $2,000. And then you had another funny one where they were doing like a Zoom like office meeting, and the two receptionists in the phone call were old ladies, and they were both like getting like really close into the camera, and like doing Kate McKinnon.
No.
She's the blonde one who plays. You'd know her. She's like the funniest one on SNL.
Is she the one that did that famous scene about the alien abduction?
Yeah. She was the one who was smoking in the alien abduction. Yeah. That's her. Yeah, she was playing one, and her glasses were like at the end of her nose, and she was like getting like up into the camera.
Yeah,
and then
she's hilarious.
Yeah,
man.
she is. And then another one of the ladies was like, they did the bathroom thing where she went and started to go pee. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So people are already like, doing
that is hilarious.
Doing their thing with the internet. Oh, and then Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel, they're
online.
Yeah, they're doing at home versions of the Tonight Show.
Now, have you watched any of those? Because I don't know how they're going. I
just watched the first few seconds, and then I'm like, yeah.
I subscribe to their YouTube channel. And so they put it into, bite-sized pieces.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And for the
millennials.
YouTube uploads. Yeah, for the short attention spans. So not much has changed.
And I definitely have one of them.
Yeah. Have you heard about, speaking about short attention span, have you heard about this new streaming app called Quibi?
Quibi.
Have you seen ads for it yet? Because it's
I thought it was like
it just came out.
Toothbrush.
No, it's another streaming service, kind of like another Netflix or Hulu or whatever.
Cool.
And it's like shorter entertainment, so it's 10-minute shows pretty much. And one of the shows is like a remake of Punk'd.
Okay.
And Chance the Rapper is the host, and it's
No way.
And it's like 10-minute episodes, and then there's sitcoms too, like there's a sitcom with Will Forte and Caitlin Olsen from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and there's another show with Idris Elba doing something I don't know, some Idris Elba show,
some serious,
and then a Chrissy Teigen, John Legend's supermodel wife. She's got her own little at home I decorate and cook show. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was
that's where I saw the ad for.
That sounded like a diss. That wasn't a diss.
No, honestly, I
don't know
love
what
when
it
I
is.
see. What is her name? Do you know her name?
Chrissy Teigen. Well, her last name's like
Teigen.
Teigen. I think it's pronounced
Christy
Teigen.
Christy Teigen. I think
it's
you're right.
Is it Chrissy or Christy? I think it's Christy Teigen. I think
Well,
it's
isn't
Christy
she
Teigen.
Christy Legend then?
I think she. I don't know. I don't know how she goes by.
Should keep her
I know.
name?
I know they're married, but I don't know if she kept her name or has a hyphen.
I,
Or I don't know.
I love when I see them online. They just seem like such a happy family to me.
They do.
Honestly.
They do.
And it's like, it's great because, you know, John Legend, like, he's super famous and stuff, and he has all these great songs. It doesn't even faze him, it looks like. It just seems like he's just going through life, just chilling with his family, and, like, I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid to, like, you know, hide it from online or, you know, put up some sort of image. Like, him and Christy always do these, like, things on Instagram, and I think it's great, honestly.
Yeah, I think she's always chiming in, like, whenever there's like some controversy that happens.
She's very political,
or something, or some shit goes down. Like, she's always like voicing an opinion. But I will give her credit because her opinion is always seems like it's nice, and she's never like mean about it when she's like telling someone that, oh, you shouldn't behave this way or this is wrong. She's always like constructive about it and cool about it, which is nice to see from a celebrity's tweet, because usually they can be
pretty toxic,
kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Speaking about celebrity tweets, Gucci Mane tweeted just in the last few days. He tweeted, "I hope all my haters get coronavirus."
Damn.
And it's like, and honestly, I feel like if he would have said it. If he would have said it in like a rap song, you know, if he would have said it in a track, nobody would have been like, whatever, bar. But the fact that he tweets it, everyone's like, whoa, like, whoa, that's insensitive. So yeah, people are you know, calling him out and stuff. And I think it was actually on Sunday, because one of the tweets back at Gucci was like, wow, this is how you're feeling on Easter Sunday. Like, let me tell you how you should be feeling on the day the Lord is risen, or something. And but Gucci Mane hasn't responded or anything, which is, you know, classic Gucci. I don't think he needs to respond. I mean, it's Gucci Mane.
No, he doesn't, dude.
It's like,
and that's like his character too.
It
like,
is.
he doesn't, he's not going to do that.
Yeah.
And I feel like he gives off a vibe like, I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit. And also, like, it's just, that's the kind of, like, it's such a, to me, it feels like a Gucci Mane thing to say, or just like.
And who really cares? You know, like,
yeah, who cares? I hope my haters get
it's like
coronavirus. Like, it's such a.
It's like, you know, when like you get those online people and they're like trolling, and you're reading these comments and you're like, dude, this one guy is trolling the shit out of this other dude. Like, he's totally fucking around, and this other person is taking him so seriously.
Yeah.
He's like, I cannot believe you would say that. Like, you need to educate yourself on this and this and this. This is so blah, blah, blah. And you're looking and you're reading this and you're like, dude, this is so obvious. This guy's just trying to get a ruse out of you. And that's what Gucci Mane is doing. He's just doing it to the world. And it's so easy to do on Twitter, I bet. Yeah. Especially when you're that famous. Like, you just say something stupid that's obviously never going to happen. Yeah. He doesn't believe it.
Ironically, you see that tweet, and as soon as you're like retweeting him or like talking shit on the tweet or blah blah blah, as soon as you're doing that, you're basically allowing Gucci Mane to wish coronavirus on you, because you're becoming a Gucci Mane hater, and therefore he has just wished coronavirus on you. Like, you just back yourself into a corner, but you should just let it go.
Counterintuitive.
Exactly.
You just put yourself in a group that you don't want to be a part of.
You don't want to be in. Exactly.
That's hilarious, man. What did you do for Easter, man? I honestly completely forgot it was Easter yesterday.
Yeah, I had some roasted ham for dinner.
Sweet.
And that was like,
I had some ham.
I felt like the most Easter thing, because like Easter's kind of like a holiday where you kind of like do like big like roasted meats with like.
I think so.
You know,
there's not really like
stuff, you know,
Easter dishes. It's kind of just like,
it feels
we're
like
gonna have a big gathering,
like a big like meal Thanksgiving kind of thing, you know.
So
yeah, it was one of those things: potatoes, veggies, ham.
Nice.
And then my mom got me a little basket of candy, you know, some Hershey Kisses and some peanut M&Ms, which, by the way, are my favorite candy, because, you know, peanut M&Ms are classic.
Peanut M&Ms are fire,
Yeah,
dude.
yes.
Actually, I have a funny story about M&Ms. I went to New York, and I'm sure you know this, but you go to fucking. I can't believe I'm forgetting the name. What is it? Times Square.
Times Square. Yeah, I knew
Oh God.
I knew that's what you're thinking.
I'm gonna edit that out.
The M&M.
No, I'm kidding.
The M&M store in Times Square.
Yeah, M&M store at Times Square.
Dude, that's
Thanks for letting me suffer. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Central Park. Anyways, you go to Times Square and there's the the M&M store there.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, dude. I'm not really a sugar freak, and I'm not even into M&Ms at all.
Mm-hmm.
I love peanut M&Ms, but I wouldn't go and buy a bag of peanut M&Ms.
Yeah.
You know. And we go into the store to like look around, and then they have these. Literally these massive like chutes or tubes filled with
with the
each and every M&M you can think of,
dump it out.
and they have this price tag on like on this like bulletin, and it's like $7.99 for a pound or something like that. And here I am, I'm like, not gonna get more than a pound of M&Ms, and I'm, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Mini M&Ms are also some of my favorite. Do that. I go to the counter, dude. Yeah. And I'm waiting, and I'm like, it might be a little more than a pound. Guess how much money I paid for it?
How much did you say it was per pound?
It was like $7.99.
Dude, you probably paid like $40.
No, I paid 25. Man.
Oh, okay,
25.
Okay. 15 off. Okay,
But,
I'll take it.
Dude, it was so bad. I was like,
I was giving
me?
you a couple extra pounds in my head in the math. But yeah, that's pretty good.
And I'm one of those people that's like, I don't know, sometimes I get flustered, and when somebody's pressuring me to like do something, I'll just do it. And so I was at the counter, and I had the bag of M&Ms sitting on the weigh chart, and the lady's like, all right, $25. And she's like, pay right here. And then I was like, can I back out now? I'm like looking at Amanda, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like,
can I put some of these back?
Just do it. So I'm eating them after, right? Because I'm like, damn, like this is so shitty. Like I just paid $25 for M&Ms, and then I'm halfway.
Did it come in like a souvenir bag or something?
It was just a plastic bag with like little M&M prints on them. Prints on them.
Nothing too special.
Anyways, it's like day 2 of our trip, and I'm eating them, and I'm so fed up because anytime I eat them, I'm thinking of how much I paid for these M&Ms. So I get so frustrated one time. I'm just like, I'm throwing these away, man. I don't even want to remember this ever.
Man, Ryan.
Oh, dude.
But the peanut M&Ms that you were grabbing were always good, though.
Oh, I ate all the peanut M&Ms, the caramel M&Ms,
Nice.
the mini M&Ms. We got some of these, actually, funny, I think they were Easter M&Ms that were, like, left over. And I was like, fuck these. Yeah, dude.
I like peanut M&Ms because I think the peanut and the chocolate is the perfect combination.
It really is, because it's not too much sugar.
Exactly, because
You get a little bit of protein in there.
and then you get something as like real as like it's just a peanut. It's nothing like it's just a peanut. There's no extra additives or whatever. It's just a
And
nut.
I also like how they're not all the same. You know how you open a bag of M&Ms and they're literally just the same thing with this food coloring on them?
And this speaks exactly to the fact that it's a peanut inside of every single one. It is its own peanut. And because every peanut is different. It's like a snowflake. Every peanut's different.
And sometimes they fuck up and you get a double peanut M&M.
Yes, true.
Dude, I bet everyone can relate to that,
Yeah, just like that extra chicken nugget,
That's true.
By the way, I count my chicken nuggets.
Do you really?
I do. And not only just chicken nuggets, but I'm talking like anything with a number in it. If you put a number of what I'm supposed to get when I order it, I'm counting to make sure I got it all before I start eating. It's just what I'm doing. I mean, to be fair, I have never had a time where there's not the number that they're supposed to be. If ever, it's just been an extra. But there have been times when I forget to count, and it's not the same feeling as when I remember to count when I eat it, because like
I tell you, I do not relate to you on this.
I eat one or two and I'm like, shit, I forgot to count to make sure there were 10. I forgot to count. And then
you're thinking back and you're like,
I'm thinking,
did I
were there
really
10? Were there 10? Like, I don't know if there, like, maybe I didn't get, like, I don't know. I can't remember how many I ate. Now there's 6 here. Did I have 4 before? Like, it's like, yeah. So it's like something I always remember to do, but that's me being,
it's unnecessary stress you're putting on yourself. There you go.
Yeah, but it is satisfying when I get the number. When I get the right, it's like they're all here. Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Got what I paid for.
Could you imagine going to New York right now and just seeing the streets
just dead,
empty? Like, it's one thing to see it in Riverside or San Francisco.
Yeah.
But like New York,
you could shoot, like, film something cool, Like, this is like the one time where, like,
dude, yeah,
without any, like, with no, permits or money behind you, you could shoot cool shit that is, like, not available to shoot without this happening. But I mean, obviously you can't shoot it because you go out to shoot it and then you get busted for being outside,
Well, I wonder if crews or film crews or companies are going out right now in a car and just filming like those panoramic shots.
Oh, getting shots of like how empty everything is,
and just for like an apocalypse movie in the future, just something crazy like that.
Yeah, I saw a comparison between like the season 1 poster for The Walking Dead of like the Atlanta Georgia highway compared to like the Atlanta Georgia highway during the pandemic, and it was pretty similar. Pretty interesting.
Really?
Yeah, with the lack of cars, like nobody on the road. I think the only difference was it was just like in the Walking Dead poster you had one side with no cars, and you have like Rick on his horse walking through, no cars, and then you have the other side of the highway just completely filled with abandoned cars, and then like that was put side by side with a real life picture of Georgia highway of the Atlanta highway during the pandemic, and it was the same thing, just without Rick and without all the cars abandoned. So it was literally just 2 strips empty, which is crazy because I have Atlanta is just like any other major highway in major cities in the U.S. It's always popping because my aunt used to live in Georgia in a town.
Really? I didn't know this.
Yeah, my dad's sister in a town about 2 hours from Atlanta. So I went to an Atlanta Braves game before, and it's a very, poppin', populated, people everywhere type of city. So
I'd love to visit Atlanta, man.
Yeah, these huge cities are just it's such a weird feeling, thinking of them like, the city that never sleeps is asleep right now in a way.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I can't imagine going there or even, going downtown San Francisco is crazy to me. I went before I went down to Riverside like 4 weeks ago. I went to the office to water my plants, and it was crazy. I mean, there's just no one there. I parked right next to my office, which is not possible at any time.
Have you been outside of your place since you've come back, just in the last few days?
We went for a walk on the weekend, and yeah, that's about it, to be honest. I mean,
did you wear masks when you went on the walk?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we got a couple of masks. Although I get the idea that because at first it was like,
masks
hey,
don't matter.
Masks don't matter. Don't wear your mask.
Dude, I'm happy you bringing this up.
And all of a sudden, it's like,
talk about this.
You're required to wear masks.
Okay, here's the weirdest thing to me is the fact that this thing first starts happening, like things are kind of first getting crazy in the beginning of March. And I remember like the Joe Rogan podcast, he had like a doctor on who was talking about, the masks are
I listened to this one too.
The masks are pointless because they still have these, you're still going to have airways, like spots for air to enter. So they're really
exactly.
And then he was like, the only thing they do is really like, if you have the sickness, then you want to wear it. And then fast forward 4 weeks, and suddenly it's like doctors are passing and telling officials like, okay, make a rule where everybody has to wear masks. So it makes sense to me. The fact that like this is an this is an airborne illness, so when we go out, we want to put something on our mouths and our nose where we breathe. That makes sense to me. Yep. But it's funny. It also made sense to me when I was listening to the doctor on Joe Rogan say that there's still entrances for air to come in. I was like, that makes sense too. So it's like it both make. So I feel like it's just like I think they're both right.
I don't understand like. I don't get how we keep flip-flopping about things, like the masks, like going out.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, don't we have some sort of council, like the CDC, right? Did the CDC say don't wear masks? Because if they were really trying to stop the pandemic, then they should have just told us wear masks in the first place. Not, okay, we're going to let you wear masks when we get to this point because we don't want it to spread even more. I don't get it, because if we're supposed to wear masks, then why didn't we just get told that in the first place,
This speaks to the whole idea, and I don't know if it's just a rumor. I'm just going to call it a rumor for now. Mm-hmm. Because I can't possibly officially know. But I did hear that the government the government knew about the likelihood and the possibility of this coronavirus hitting us in this time back in December. Because the World Health Organization brought they brought this disease, they told the World Health Organization about it in December of 2019. Mm-hmm. So we know about it then, and right then, is when we should have just, to me, shut down travel.
Yeah,
it's strange to me that we have a president who builds part of his campaign on the idea of keeping people that aren't American out of America, and then he's told about this virus that pops up in December and has the potential to affect us in a massive way in a few months. He's told about that. Mm-hmm. And I just find it interesting that he doesn't hop on it and take advantage of it as an early way to be like, all right, nobody coming into the U.S. Like, I feel like that could have been said like right like there and then as it was heard. And I feel like precautions could have been taken. Like, we could have started the whole the whole stay inside then. We could have been like, wear a mask then, or stay inside then, or this is going to happen then if we don't do this. But instead, it was like all at once.
Yeah.
Like, okay, now we're here. Like, boom, we're moving out. Like, we're getting kicked out of student housing. Places are getting shut down. People are getting fired. Jobs are getting, it's just all happened like that. And there was no, there could have been preparation. And there could have been at least, not even a travel ban or a rule about staying inside. It would have been at least nice to know, hey, shit's probably going to hit the fan in a few months, in a sense where, a lot of you might not have jobs and things might be put on a halt. So prepare for that in a sense of, save your money, do this, blah, blah, blah. We could have had at least some warning. There were a lot of ways to handle it, but it's just funny to me that the steps that were taken were just classic procrastination. I'm a stupid.
No, that's a perfect way to describe it.
And I'm just this isn't a problem. It's literally what show is that? I think it was How I Met Your Mother, where they had the joke of the main character Ted one of the running jokes in the show would that Ted would have a problem that would be maybe a week away. He's got a problem that's a week away, and he's thinking about it right now, and he's like, I'm not going to think about that right now. That's for future Ted. I'm going to leave that for future Ted. I feel like that was Donald Trump, or just the American government in general, in December when they were told about this, and they're like, let's just leave that for future government. We'll handle that down the line.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, dude, because also you hear that there are senators that are part of committees that hear all these things from the different World Health Organizations, right?
Yeah.
And then you hear that some of the senators that got briefed on the coronavirus, what they did was they sold all of their stocks and then reinvested a lot of their money into telecommuting companies. And in addition, they tell the public that this is not a serious issue, that America is, well equipped. We're the, biggest country or the best country to be equipped for a pandemic or to handle a pandemic. And then behind closed doors, they're not saying the same thing, right? So it's frustrating. I forget the senator's name that did that, but he was a part of, whatever committee there is on national briefings or national security. But fuck that guy, dude, honestly, because that's messed up. Like, you're supposed to be a leader of this country, and yet you take advantage of your position for your own good and not even help out other people in the process of that. Like, it's so frustrating. And with Trump, I will say he did do a travel ban to China pretty early on, which was a good move. For sure. Good move, man. Good move. Yeah. But you can't keep banking on that. You can't keep, he's still riding on that. And it's like, bro, you haven't really done much this entire time. And he put Pence ahead of the task force. But listen, people are dying. People are dying. Like, this is not a joke. And, I get that he's trying to keep the economy up. I do. But shit's hitting the fan, and when the government really isn't doing much, they had reserves, they gave out those reserves, but they need to require people to build PPE, which is the personal protective equipment. Those are the ventilators, those are the masks, all this stuff, because you're gonna save lives, right? I mean, that's what's important here. And when you have a president that is saying, this is not a big deal, this is like the flu, it's going to go away, when it gets hot, it's going to go away. Yeah. And then the next week, he's saying how, well, it's a pandemic, and it's a very serious pandemic, and I was saying this all the time. It's like, bro, you're lying to not only yourself, but you're lying to the American people. And I feel as if I'm being impartial, and I know it sounds like I'm attacking him, but I feel as if I'm being impartial because I'm just looking at it how it is. There was no action. The action was to say it's not a big deal until it's in your face, and then you just say it's a big deal, and there's still no action, right? Whereas if you look at the California president, and say what you will about the California governor, Gavin Newsom, we talked about him last week on the podcast. Say what you will about him. Say what you will about San Francisco at this time, because it's a shithole. But he's doing really well at handling this. I mean, we were the first state to do social distancing, I believe, and we were for sure the first state to do shelter in place. Yeah. And you see now
it might have been New York. No,
it was California.
It California? Okay, it was California. Okay.
Yep, it was California.
I think New York followed after.
Maybe.
I feel like it did.
But California was not in the state that New York was. So the fact that Newsom,
he handled it first, yeah, that's true.
And honestly, California was literally set out to be screwed because we had that cruise ship come here.
Yeah.
150 people were infected, and they literally most of them dispersed into California. Yeah. And so we were set out for failure, and I think Newsom did a really good job because he said shelter in place. We need to, take precautions. And now you see that that's working because we're able to handle the amount of cases that we have now, and we are able to give equipment to places like New York and Louisiana and Chicago. I believe we gave out some ventilators and stuff to them. So it's frustrating to see the federal government really just shit the bed on this. I mean, and yeah, dude, it's frustrating, man.
Yeah. Dude, did you hear that Tiger King got an 8th episode?
I saw that today, actually. I was looking at it, and it said continue watching, and I was like, wait a second, I finished this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a new episode.
Yeah, it's episode 8, The Tiger King and I.
But it's not an actual episode, right?
Oh, no, it's not. Okay, so it's I'm looking at the description right now. It's listed as, the description is, in this after show, Joel McHale talks with Jeff, Saf, Eric, and more to get their reactions to the series, their portrayals, and their new fame. Yeah, so it doesn't sound like it's the same gold that was before.
Is that like the producers?
Could still be interesting. No,
the
actually,
people that produce it.
Jeff, Saf, Eric. Well, Jeff was the name of the guy who was he helped blackmail. Well, basically blackmail Joe Starr. He was the guy who would wear the bandana and the hat and had the nanny.
That was Jeff Rowe. Wasn't that Jeff Rowe?
Yeah, it says with Jeff. It just lists him as a first name. So I'm assuming it
okay,
is
okay.
Jeff.
I heard a different name.
Saf, and Saf was the one who lost her arm, if I can recall correctly.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, and then Eric. I feel like Eric might have been the one without the legs, possibly.
I don't know. All the side characters kind of go through my head. But,
yeah. But yeah, so it just sounds like, I guess, Joel McHale just sitting down with them and chatting with them. Kind of random Joel McHale.
That's cool.
Have him do it, but I don't know how. I wonder how he walked into that gig. Yeah, so I guess that's the little addition there. But man, I haven't really looked at that. But
are you gonna watch it?
Yeah, I'll probably watch it.
I'll probably watch it too.
Give it a.
Everyone, dude, is riding on the Tiger King hype right now. Well, it was probably maybe. Honestly, I think we released that episode at the perfect time because that's when really the hype was like, it was peaking.
Yeah, it was good. That was a good time.
And then it plateaued for like a week or two, and now it's kind of fallen off. Yeah. But yeah, dude. I mean, what a crazy story. We've already talked about it, but what a crazy story.
Yeah, true. So NFL.
What's up?
Do you think they should? Do you think they could play with no fans? Do you think you could have
so here's what I
events
think
without fans? Like,
yeah,
I think so. I think you could. I really think you could.
I think that this is an unprecedented situation. I think that at this time you need to sort of have those events, right? Where obviously there's going to be a high level of testing. There's going to be a high level of, procedures. Like you're going to get tested, and there's going to be only the players on the field with the coach, blah, 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 something like that, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to have to do it. I mean, even honestly, the NBA would be way better to start up. I mean, if you think about the number of players interacting with one another, the number of people that are needed, the NBA is probably the easiest to do because there's 5 players on the court for each team, plus the announcers, plus the coach, plus the bench. But if you have a whole stadium to separate the people, like the bench from one another, I think that's the best bet. And I think it should be done because I think people need some sort of, normalized, a normal world, something like that,
Here's what I'll say is that I think you're saying basketball is the best one. I think baseball is the best one.
You're right. I just don't watch baseball. So
you forget, and it makes sense, because baseball, you have everybody. You got everybody spread out, and you don't need. I mean, sure, you're on runner on first. The guy got first baseman. You're right next to each other.
Yeah.
But in reality, the best option or the most likely sport that could work with this whole thing kind of still with this pandemic still happening would be baseball. And hell, you could even have them wearing masks when they're playing, if I'm being honest, Like there's a lot baseball is a sport where you can do you can wear a chain, you can I mean you're wearing a damn belt, You're wearing a belt. Obviously you can wear some stuff.
It's not the most athletic sport. Like a lot of them, like you see Albert Pujols, like that dude has got a belly. Like he doesn't.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
big time.
Running fast is not.
But with something like basketball is so honestly, basketball might be worse for spreading the virus than football would be. and I
Well, I'm just thinking about it in terms of people.
yeah. But like with
There's
basketball, like you're just got those jerseys and you're just sweating and you're like guarding dudes and you're like getting up on them and like so it's I don't know. To me, I think basketball is the most.
Yeah, I think in terms of that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, at this point, I would watch a baseball game, dude.
Yeah.
I'm ready for some
And
sports back in my life.
Did you hear about Did you hear about Dana White trying to buy an island to do Fight Island?
Dude, I'm glad you brought that up. I was like, oh, I should talk to Frank about this. Yeah, dude, and it got canceled it got vetoed or whatever
by Disney executives.
The highest executives you can go at Disney. That's what he was saying. He was like, I did what I could to make this happen. I pushed really hard, but ESPN is owned by Disney, and
Satan himself, Satan himself said, Dana, you cannot do this.
Yeah, I mean, and dude, imagine how much money he would have made. That organization would have made.
Dude, how many people would have watched that?
Everyone. There's nothing going on right now.
Everybody except my parents would have watched that for sure.
Well, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's
Everybody
why I think that sports would be a
good
good
UFC.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I think sports would be a good idea.
It sounded legit to me, like the idea of like Dana White has millions and millions of dollars, buys an island, he flies his fighters privately to the islands, he pays for these tests, and he has the fighters tested before they go into the ring. I mean, but at the same time, I thought it was like, okay, this sounds cool, and this sounds like it could happen. But at the same time, I was like, but it's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
because it's too good to be true. And the way this pandemic has been going is there have been things and events that have been like in question, like what's going to happen, and the attitude among the people who want to go is always, okay, there's a shot, we'll be fine, no way they're going to cancel it or postpone it. And then every single time it has been either a cancellation or postpone. Everything.
Every time. You're right. Yeah, and I think the worst case for UFC was, or the thing that knocked him is they actually had to do it in California, and so what Dana tried to do was do it on a Indian reservation, because they don't have the same laws as California. But he's gonna try, I think, and do international fights on a private island. I don't know.
With the way it's looking, and just with doctors saying, no sporting events or live concerts till the fall, I can see this story continuing down the line because there's still a lot of time of pandemic and, the whole idea of, okay, no, nothing, we're not doing anything. We still have, I think, multiple months of an attitude that says we can't have events. So I still think we're going to be seeing Dana White continuing to try to get this island happening, because we still got a lot of time of this, because basically what I'm saying is I don't think his fight of getting this fight island happening is over, because he's still got time to fight for it, because there's still going to be a lot of time where there's not going to be any sports.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think one thing that is going to need to happen is a more robust testing process.
Yeah.
Something that's instant within, 10, 30 minutes, because you can't have people coming in, 2 days after they get tested, because then you're like, well, where you been, man? So that's something that's key.
Yeah.
But I hope they make it happen. Honestly, I do, because I think it would be great for morale. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I would love a sporting event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the NBA players doing a little 2K video game tournament?
I did, yeah.
Right. So
who won?
Devin Booker, my boy.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What time are we at?
We're probably, if I'm guessing right now, we're about 9 I mean, I'm sorry. I was literally reading the time. I was about to read the time. We're probably about like 45, 50 minutes right now. Yeah. So
All right, let's
we
wrap
can,
it up after
wrap
this.
up with the 2K conversation.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
I have a funny point to make because Devin Booker wins the whole thing, but the person he beat in the finals was
Who was it?
DeAndre Ayton, which is the Suns center.
What?
So we have our starting shooting guard.
Is he cleared to play 2K?
Good one.
Damn.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Thanks.
For all you people who keep up on sports drug testing. But
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious that DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker were the finalists for the 2K tournament, both Suns players, because
Ironic, right?
ironic because it's like the season that got
Yeah.
canceled for them was no winning season that would have led to
Yeah.
any championship, but here they
Yeah.
are, competing in the championship of a digital. It's like to me, it's saying, okay, come on, guys, like
Let's get in the gym.
let's go to the gym more than the sticks,
Yeah.
than the video game sticks. But
That's hilarious.
thought that was funny.
That is funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's do this, man. Let's wrap this up.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for bearing with us as this telecommuting podcast is going on. Hopefully the audio's good. We're going to do our best.
Hopefully it's decent. I think next week will be better.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, do you want to cheers to the camera and then let's wrap it up?
And then you can stop the recording on the Zoom.
Hell yeah. All right, cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Signing off, guys.